This is another fantastic review from Cars24, and this is the Suzuki Swift GLX Turbo 2021. I'm the guy who thinks traffic lights are just a cute little suggestion, Hugh Murray, and welcome to the review. And if you want to see more of our content, hit the subscribe button, like our video, and comment below. Come on, give me those comments. This fun little city dipper is priced at $19,895 with just under 42,000 kilometers on the odometer. And it's just 4 years old, so that means it has 1 year left on its warranty. And with the GLX's turbo, its safety features, all the bells and the whistles, it is fantastic value at Cars24. Before we begin the review, I should mention I am biased towards Suzukis. I think they're rugged, simple, and they're reliable. And I just like them, especially the Swift. So let's get into the looks. For a city runabout, you would expect the car to have a few dents from the shopping center, a few scratches from the parking bollards, or a bit of crumpling on the back. But Cars24 hasn't listed any imperfections at all on this car. It is showroom quality. It's a funky design too. It looks better than the 2025 Swift in my opinion. And it's got winged LED headlights, a cute little grille, a nice rounded bonnet, and it's got a cute butt, I'll be real. It's got big brake lights and a real central exhaust that I absolutely love. I especially love the rear door handles. Normally they'd be here, but Suzuki's put it here, lined it with the black trim. That's a bit of eye trickery. It gives you the look that it's a two-door hatch, but it's actually four-door. And frankly, on a short wheelbase car, that is a necessity because if you look at the Yaris or the Mazda 2, those four doors look a little bit off. But to be perfectly honest with you, I'm not in love with the color. When I buy a funky design like the Swift, I want a really bright red or orange or green or yellow, not mineral gray. But having said that, the color isn't an affront. The metallic paint does look good on parts of the bodywork and it does accentuate the sloping roof. So it's not a deal breaker in my book. Seated in the driver's position, there is an incredible amount of space in here. I thought for a Swift, it'd be cramped, it'd be small, but I literally have one and a half fists of headspace. These seats are a little bit squished. It's very flat on the base. It does have some cushioning on the shoulders, but frankly, as a huge guy like myself, broad shoulders, it's not really agreeing with the seat that much. I feel quite hunched in. So this is a city car. It's for town, it's for short distances, but I wouldn't suggest this would be a great idea for a 7-hour drive if you're planning one. The plastics of the interior, they're fairly hard. I think Car Expert gave it a 96 out of 100 on the hardness scale, and they feel pretty firm too. Having said that, it's a really nice dark shade of black, so it kind of looks more high quality than it actually is. And the previous owner has taken really good care of it. There isn't any major scratches across the entire body, and the smell, it's showroom quality. It is a small hatchback, so storage is limited. You have 2 cup holders, storage for your key fobs and phone, and some narrow side compartments, but that's about it. The GLX has some really nice stylish design features, and the steering wheel is one of my favorites in this entire cabin. It's got everything you would need on the functionality, and it's got leather stitching, which is just a really nice touch from Suzuki. The dashboard, we've got silver, we've got red LEDs on the speedometer and the rev counter, and we've got a central digital screen. But still, Suzukis, like the Swift, are meant to be no nonsense. They're meant to be functional, and that's what you have here. There's no center armrest and only a single cup holder in the center, but that's fairly standard for a hatch this size. If the driver is 6 foot and you're 6 foot, you're gonna get about an inch of legroom. And in terms of headspace, it's actually pretty decent. I'm not touching the roof at all. I've got about 1 centimeter or 1/5 of a fist in terms of headspace. And that's pretty good considering the Puma review we did recently. You don't have any headspace at all in the back, and that's a baby SUV. At 242 liters, it's not the biggest cargo space in the world. In fact, it's actually beaten by the MG3, the Mazda 2, and the Kia Picanto. But if you fold the seats all the way down, you actually get less storage. I'm kidding. You get 913 liters of storage. But unlike the top of the line Sport, the GLX Turbo comes with a space saver tire. And because this is the GLX model, the boot lid comes with the word turbo. Nice. This model as well, the GLX, actually has a lot of driver tech you're really going to appreciate in the long run. Automatic LED headlamps, folding power door mirrors, central locking, and digital climate control. This 2021 Swift comes with a 7-inch infotainment system, and it doesn't have any physical buttons, just touch ones, which I just love. The screen has some haptic controls on either side for volume, power, home, voice command, as well as the settings. But mostly you'll have to control through the screen itself or on the steering wheel buttons. It also has a voice command system for very, very basic instructions, but it can't handle complex tasks, I checked. Play Suzuki by Taylor Swift. Why does my dad only send one-word texts? Drive me to my retainer I lost in year 5.
Please say a command.
Navigate to home.
Navigating to home address.
Oh. I give points to cars when their infotainment systems are simple. The graphics and designs are easy to use. But when I sat in the Suzuki, I was a little bit worried. There's no buttons and there's a lot of options on the touchscreen, but don't let that fool you. It's very simple to use. We have media, phone, inbuilt satellite navigation, and a direct change to Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. The phone projection does require a cable for Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and because there actually isn't any closed storage here and not a lot of it in the central console, I would suggest getting a short cable for that. Otherwise it'll just get pretty tangled. It also has keyless entry on the correct side. European cars, American cars like Ford, will have the engine start-stop on the left side of the car, and it's very strange and very counterintuitive, but thankfully, being a Japanese build, it has it on the correct side, the right side. The GLX comes with a 1-litre 3-cylinder turbocharged engine. That's the booster jet engine. That's what Suzuki call their turbo petrol line. It comes with 82 kilowatts of power as well as 160 newton meters of torque. Not as powerful as the Swift Sport, okay? That's a 1.4-litre 4-cylinder, but it's still more powerful than the Rio GT line and the Yaris SX from the same year. Fuel economy is where a small hatchback shines. This doing 5.1 litres per 100k at 95 unleaded minimum, and it'll give you a range of 725 kilometres. That's Melbourne to Adelaide one way. Brandon, let's go for a ride.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Cars 24 might pay for it.
Just stop this, please.
Driving wise, the Swift's engine is the highlight. I mean, it's called a Swift for a reason. It is an incredibly punchy runabout engine, and it's a really light body, so it feels nimble and quick around the city. And it's got a 6-speed automatic gearbox that's incredibly smooth as well. I absolutely adore the flappy paddle shifters on the steering wheel as well. And speaking of gears, the gear shifter is interesting because when you go from park to drive, you're almost always going to go into manual mode. And that's all right if you want to go into manual mode, but you do have to remember to put it back into auto every time, basically. It takes a bit of practice. Steering wise, it's got some really smooth, simple steering, and it's going to get you where you need to go. It does adjust for the highway, but it really comes into its own when you're going into city traffic or going around roundabouts in town through small roads. It's very tight, very good handling, and it's great being so low on the road. And that's the Swift way. I'll also say the turbo from the engine is a little bit loud, especially when the car is idle. Driving around town, it's fine. The city, it's all good, but the road noise does come a problem when it's actually on the highway or going at speeds over 100. Safety-wise, you would expect such a small hatchback to lack a lot of features, but it actually has a ton of safety tech. We've got auto emergency braking, lane keep assist. It even monitors pedestrians, so it'll stop for them as well, which is always a nice feature and something that's really good to check. And it's got parking sensors on the rear and a rear camera as well, although the rear camera is a little bit squished. On the foundations of safety, it's got it. It's got front, side, and curtain airbags, electronic stability control, as well as a 5-star ANCAP safety rating. I cannot stress enough, when you're buying a pre-loved car, you should really look for emergency braking in it. Everything else is important, but autonomous emergency braking will just save your life one day, and you'll really thank that you looked for a car that has that tech. Look, there are a lot of options when buying a small hatchback on the pre-loved market, but honestly, the Suzuki Swift Turbo GLX is the winner. Engine, value, safety features. You're going to be hard-pressed to find an alternative under 20k. In fact, I've looked on the private market, and if you want a car that has the same safety features, the same tech, the same equipment as this GLX Turbo, it's looking to be a Mitsubishi Mirage. And let's be real, you don't want a Mitsubishi Mirage. If you like this review and you want to see more from Cars24, hit the subscribe button, comment below, and don't forget to hit the like button too. A lot of tasks on YouTube.